first of all, I really enjoyed meeting you again in San Diego, and I know from talking to you that you have some great systems that are out there that you've developed. Because one of the things about list building, and I've been a coach now, I'm in my 5th year in coaching, and I've been steadily building a list. But when you first get started, it's overwhelming. There could be a lot of steps to it. It could be confusing. And one of the things I was hoping is that, because one of the things we talked about driving people to come to this is I know you guys have the ninja sauce to really simplify this, and so that we don't wear ourselves out, because there's so much that we're doing as coaches, consultants, authors, speakers to attract the people. If you could help us maybe take a bit of the mystery out of what it takes step by step simply to build a list, that would be great.
Exactly. Okay, cool. So we've kind of broken it down, kind of there's 3 parts. And the first one is that front-end offer, that lead magnet. There's a million terms they call it.
IFO, whatever you want to call it.
Ethical bribe, I've even heard, whatever you want to call it, right? And to be honest, that is really the place where you really want to put a really good piece of content. And whether it's video, whether it's PDF, whether it's a webinar, whatever that is, you really need to understand your audience and what that's going to be. But that's the first place that we start, is creating a really, really good quality freebie. And when I say good, we like to create stuff so that, people that consume it, they really get a good amount of value out of what it is. Like it's not one of those things that's just kind of thrown together and put out there, right? So that's the first place. And you really want it to be as niched and as focused around a topic or an audience that you can be, so that folks can easily identify, yes, I need that, or no, I don't. Very
because
easily.
Your lead magnet, like we talked about, people, either you're not getting enough people or you're getting the wrong kind of people. If you're hearing things on sales calls or things like this that's like, well, I don't have enough money, or, I don't need that right now, and things like this, all these kind of objections. Or if you get on a sales call and it really feels like people are interrogating the crap out of you.
Yeah, you've been on one of those sales calls before, right, where you get on the call, like they booked a call with you, and then by the end of the call, you're tucked in a corner answering these crazy questions like, they're interviewing you. Why should I pay you?
They don't see you as an expert. They don't know this person has what I need and I need it. So if that's just a waste of your time, right? Because your time is precious, and so you don't want to get on all these calls. You don't want to attract all the wrong people. So your lead magnet is exactly where you want to focus on getting the right people. And a perfectly good example of that is, okay, everybody talks about target market, right? You have your target market, who you should talk to, and who you should attract. But there's teeny tiny little nuances that make all the difference in the world. So Mike and I, one thing we specialize in is client attraction, right? Getting clients. Well, if I were to say in my lead magnet, I'm going to show you how to get your first client or how to get clients. Right. That's very different than if I were to say, I'm going to show you how to get more clients, or I'm going to show you how to get consistent clients. A tiny little difference, or the right kind of clients, right? Tiny little difference, but the first one I mentioned, they're probably broke. They're probably the ones that don't have money, because you're speaking to the fact that I'm going to help you get clients or get your first client. But the second scenario I showed is somebody who already has some clients,
but they're trying to get more
consistent clients. So there are a lot of psychological nuances that go into creating your lead magnet that you really want to focus on getting the right people, because you don't want just your target market, but you want your target market with money.
Yeah, that's
that's important if you want to turn them into a customer.
A lot of folks don't talk about it. They just kind of talk about, hey, focus on your target market. Well, you're serving, and you need to be reaching out and attracting your target market with money.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Like you need to be attracting folks that fit in that space, but also have the ability to either buy your products or services, or you're just wasting their time. So it's definitely very, very important about how you word that freebie and how you name it and how you use the language there so that you're attracting the right people and disqualifying the wrong people.
Yeah,
Very, very
because
big.
don't be afraid to disqualify the wrong people. Don't be afraid that your language won't make sense to some people or won't attract some people, because the more focused it is and the more that it is getting rid of the wrong people, on the flip side, it's attracting even stronger the right people. So the more specific you get in that freebie, the better, for sure.
And that kind of ties right into step 2. And step 2 would be the landing page. So you've got this freebie, you've nailed it, it's niched, it's speaking to the right folks, you got the title right, bam. Now you need a place to house that freebie, a place where you're actually going to send folks to get it. And very, very simple. A lot of folks overthink this whole landing page thing. We've found in our experience and testing and working with clients, the simpler the landing page, we have multiple running right now that are just a headline with a button, and there's some of them are converting at 73%. So
to cold traffic.
To cold traffic. So, you know, we see some of the longer ones with these cute graphics and all these colors, and sometimes they work, but our experience has shown very often the simpler you get it, the easier you make it, and maybe do a little bit of curiosity provoking in your language, in your headline, folks will opt in. Because you have to remember, it's not a hard sell. You're pretty much selling a free thing, basically. You're giving it away. So it doesn't take a whole lot to convince somebody to say yes. As long as you're speaking right, you're speaking to them, it's solving that one specific problem. Bam. So from there, the landing page.
Well, another really good tip about your landing page is focus. This is the thing that we see a lot. So there's 2 kinds of focus for your landing page. There's your focus and what you need to focus on communicating. And then there is your visitors' focus and what you want them to focus on. So for your own focus, the thing that's really common that we see, especially in the market, if you're an expert, if you're a coach, if you're a consultant or a teacher, a common thing is that you just have so much to give inside of you, right? You just want to give, you want to teach, you want to change the world, all these things. And sometimes our giving is out of place and it's going to hurt your conversions because you're trying to give too much and teach too much in one area.
And what happens is folks, when there's too many things or too many promises, folks can't connect to the one thing they're going to get, and that single focus is extremely important. And if we want to talk about email marketing, any of those landing pages, sales pages, single focus is extremely important. You want people to be able to immediately connect. Here's the one thing I'm going to get out of this. And Robin and I always like to use the example of Starbucks, right? Starbucks first got started, they were Starbucks Coffee. They branded themselves, they built a business and got known for coffee. But you could go into a Starbucks and you could buy bagels and paninis and all kind, even a coffee machine.
And, CDs and everything.
But they focused on building around that single focus and got known for that. And the same thing really applies to this, you know, type of a funnel here. The more single focused that you can get and the easier the person can attach. This is what I get. I either need it or I don't. Boom. You will see much better conversion.
Yeah, a really good example of that is one of our very first training programs we ever released was called Marketing Game Changer. And the first time we launched it, it sold pretty well. But we focused on, you know, this is going to teach you everything you need to know about marketing, from your website to your copywriting to your list building to your SEO. It's going to focus on everything. And it sold okay. But the next time around, when we were working with a professional copywriter, he was like, what is the one thing? Who's the target market for this? And we were like, well, you know, purposeful entrepreneurs, people that want to learn marketing. But it wasn't narrow enough, and that whole experience that we went through was really game-changing because it's the next time around, we were like, this is a program about client attraction, period. And everything from the headlines to the webinar to the bullet points to all the copy on the page all reinforced that one main promise getting clients, client attraction. And so even though the program really does teach other things, and it really does help you in other areas with your mindset, with this, with that, the other, you have to keep your copy focused on one thing. So if you have a free ebook or whatever you have, if I were to ask you what's the one thing I'm going to get out of this free thing, you can't have a list of a million things. All your bullet points should be focused on the one thing, the headline, and then all the rest of the copy should just reinforce the one thing, and that will blow up your conversions.
Yeah. So from there, so now we're talking about, we got freebie, we got this killer converting landing page. So the next step is traffic, right? And there's two sources. There's the one that's going to take all your time and energy, and that's free.
Yeah.
We all know that. And then there's paid traffic. And, you know, Robin and I are huge proponents. We teach our clients Facebook ads. If you are an online business right now or wanting to get customers from online, which chances are if you're listening to this, you are, and you're not using Facebook ads, you are missing out on the greatest opportunity available to us right now. It is where it's at. So Facebook ads allow you to turn the freebie and the landing page into what Robin and I like to call the list building machine. Because you can turn it on and you can say, I'm going to spend $5 a day or $50 a day or $1,000 a day, whatever your budget wants to be. And when the other proportions are correct, as we just talked about, folks will be flowing in, opting in, and it is a machine that you now can automate. You can set it and forget it, and you can decide to turn it on or turn it off. And with that, we also teach some other things that from that freebie, you want to be making folks offers and stuff. So we see for ourselves and for all of our clients that at least our list building is free, because as folks are entering in, there's offers, there's really great products, things that are really matching what they're saying, yes, that they were initially interested in. So very, very awesome opportunity. And